Hello friends, my name is The Real Emil and welcome back to Forza Horizon 2, and today, well, we've got a new car pack released, thank God, finally. Anyway, today's car pack is of course the Top Gear car pack, which features 6 new cars as always, and the first one off is this, the M235i from BMW. Pretty cool car, 322 horsepower, looks like a bunch of fun to drive. Looks a lot better than the M1 in my opinion. Next we've got the Ferrari 458 Speciale, which of course will keep all the 4058 fans happy, although there's been a new Ferrari released today, the 488, or at least it's been shown. Pretty cool car, I prefer that over the normal 458. Next up we've got the Lotus Cortina, fun car to drive in Forza 5, should be pretty fun here, and of course that's the free car. Next up we've got the Jaguar XJ220, a car which surprised me the other day that this wasn't already in Forza Horizon 2, but it's a fantastic car, this. I do love the XJ220 dearly. Next up we got the Sylvester Stallone mobile, the Lamborghini LM002. Pretty cool car if you ask me, completely bonkers looking. And it actually has the engine from a Countach in it, which makes it even more bonkers. Fantastic, fantastic car this. And finally, or last and definitely least in my opinion, the LCF from Lexus. Not a particular fan of this car, I don't really know much about it and I don't like the look of it, so that's the cars. However, we're only interested in one of those cars today, and that is this one, the Jaguar XJ220. One of my more preferred supercar slash hypercars, well, ever made really. This is a car that was of course launched back in 1992, I believe. So we have to use the Retro Supercar Championship. We'll go to Castelletto for it. I hope I haven't done it. Where is Supercars? There's Supercars. Nope, I haven't. Cool. Good. We can do it. That would have scuppered my plans a little bit if we couldn't. But yes, I do actually really quite like the Jaguar XJ220. I think it's a very underrated supercar. Many people, if you ask them what the best supercars ever made are, they'll say the McLaren F1, the Ferrari F40, the Bugatti Veyron. No one really mentions this, and that's a bit strange. Oh, he's got understeer. That's a bit strange when you consider this car was the world's fastest car for a good few months, in fact a year. Of course the McLaren F1 beat it, but before that it was the world's fastest car at 220 miles an hour, hence its name. And to be fair, this car's actually quite incredible considering it pretty much survived a total rechange. When the concept car version of this debuted in 1989, this car had, oh, there's a Ferrari that we can take a picture of. Let's just go around that corner. There we go. When the DLC comes out, you can get lots of money if you just take the pictures of the cars, which is sort of what I do, to get some more money. But yes, when the concept car debuted at this, it had a V12 engine, which I believe was a derivative of the Jaguar racing cars at the time, the XJ-R9. And it also had a 4-wheel drive system. However, the production version of this car, the V12 sort of cost a bit too much. I think emissions were a problem on it as well, so they've ended up using the V6. Now, the V6, there is serious understeer in this car. There's also hugely long gear ratios. I did notice that on the drive down here. They're not particularly fantastic gear ratios. But yes, anyway, this car actually features the engine from a Metro. Now it is a 6R4 Metro, which is the Group B crazy monstrous rally car thing which came with Storm Island, but it's still the engine from a Metro. It also is rear wheel drive, or at least according to the game. I'm not actually too sure if the production version is, I would presume so. Can we do any crazy modifications to it? Like any racing car mods. I believe this was a Le Mans racing thing at some point. Nope. Ew. Why would you take the rear wing off it? That looks hideous. It really, really does. Although it does reduce the weight, which is good. You don't particularly want to ruin the XJ20's shape. This is a pretty fantastic looking car in my opinion. It's I like it a lot. All Jaguars are quite nice in their own right, usually anyway. Some of them are a bit odd. I'm not a fan of the new I'm just trying to remember which way around it is. XJ, I think, the Tata made one. I'm not a fan of that, or I can't remember if they introduced a new model or not. The one with the slopey lights, I didn't really like that one. I'm explaining that horribly. The one that was released in about 2010, I think. I don't like that one, but most Jaguars are very, very good looking cars. I love the XKR. I think that's a fantastic looking sedan. Countach from GTOs, Diablos. This car's quite wide. I never noticed that before. This thing's hugely wide. Interesting. Anyway, off the line. It goes to the left a bit, which is odd. I don't quite know why it does that, and I don't quite know why we're going off-roading in an XJ220. You don't do that. Although, to be fair, I presume the Ferrari GTOs at the front are probably more valuable than this thing is nowadays anyway. This isn't a particularly... I don't know. It's a rare car, it's just because obviously it's one of the more underrated ones. I don't think it's quite as valuable as some of the others, as much as it's rare. So, that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I seriously think the XJ220 needs some more recognition. Like I said, yes, it has the engine from a Metro. It is fully refiddled with, sort of. It's been petaled with and all sorts by... Can't remember if it's Jaguar TWR, which is the tuning company that works with Jaguar on this, but it has been fettled with. But yeah, it's still the engine from a Metro. But there's been some car magazines that have been revisiting this car as of fairly recently, and they've said it drives pretty well, and in the end, you know, the option for a V6 at the time, that's the reason this car sort of got killed off a little bit, is because it wasn't a V12, it was a V6. However, in retrospect, a lot of people appreciate the V6 over the V12 because of course it's more economical, which is much more fitting in today's world where petrol prices, at least here in England, are absolutely astronomically bad. We have got some understeer. You kind of expect understeer from the XJ, but not quite this much. If it was oversteering, then I'd be more concerned, because this really doesn't look like an oversteering car. It's very aerodynamical, the shape of it anyway. Oh, this is the bridge from my intro. Pretty bridge, yes. Let's go in third person for it. Yeah, very cool little car this. I do really quite like the XJ. Not my favourite supercar, not my favourite retro supercar in this. I'd probably still have the F40 or the F50 over it. But yeah, it's a fantastic car this. This is a fantastic part of the map as well. It's probably the most scenic track on the game. It's a really nice little piece of track this. Yeah, the only problems I have with this car is the understeer and the horribly long gear ratios. I probably should sort them out. I want to leave it for this video, but I think if I ever use this car again, I'm going to sort the gear ratios out. It does like 116 foot of gear, that's just ridiculously long. But, hey, you know, it gets it to 220 miles an hour, I guess. I presume it can do 220 in this game. Might have to test that out later on the motorway. Hey, we're first anyway, which is the important part. It's a bit dirty. It shouldn't be dirty. An XJ220 should never be dirty, but yeah, well, none of the cars in this category technically should be dirty or going off-road, but hey, Horizon. That was a hell of a lot of loading screens in like a couple of minutes. I'm probably going to cut that out. Anyway, I've decided to come to the high-speed circuit for the last event in our Jaguar XJ220 here, which is a pretty good send-off. I do quite like this track, if I remember rightly. Although, it'll be interesting to see how the Jaguar handles here, because it's got a crap ton of understeer, this car. It is really quite understeery, which it surprised me a little bit about the XJ220, but overall it hasn't been a terrible car to drive. Ooh, yeah, there you go, there's some understeer. I would prefer it with shorter gear ratios and also some less understeer, but I mean, they're two problems that could probably be fixed if you just threw some race tyres and a racing gearbox in it. So, I mean, overall, I reckon this could actually make a fairly decent car build. It's a bit long, which is a bit of a problem with it. It comes with a lot of power though. I swear I was going to hit that tree there. It comes with a lot of power though, so it should be a fairly decent car to build up, which is good. Starts in S1 class, which is kind of high, but as an S1 racing car, I think this could actually be quite decent. At least a lot better than that yellow bird that's in front of us. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to go with next episode, of course, because we do switch over cars, so I don't know what we're gonna do. I would say leave your comments down, but chances are we'll probably already recorded it by the time this video goes out, so yeah, that'd be a bit pointless. But yeah, anyway, I guess I should give my opinions on the Top Gear car pack. I think this is a fantastic car pack. I think this is the best car pack we've had. I like pretty much all the vehicles in the pack, save for the Lexus, which I'm probably not going to use, but other than that, I think all the cars in this pack are really, really good. And, you know, if you aren't going to buy any of the packs for this car, for this game, I strongly recommend you'd get this one. It is by far and away the best car pack we've had. I thought last month's G-Shock would have had some tough competition, but you know what, it's been surpassed by this one. It's fantastic. I actually quite like the one they did in the first bump as well, the one that came with the F-Type and the Clio. That was quite a good one. But now, this is my favourite car pack by far, and I mean, of course you'd expect it of the guys at Top Gear. Let's go back in third person for it. I like how the engine also shows a little bit as well. I don't know if that's, that's just a weird, like, graphical choice they've made with this car, or whether that's the way the engine genuinely sticks out in the actual car. It's quite cool, I like it. I also like the funky design in the side here. Yes, the dashboard's a bit plain and a bit boring, but I like the dials that are almost on the door. In fact, they are on the door, which is pretty cool. I think that's like engine temperature and stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. I do really like the XJ220. I know it's criticised in its time, but I seriously think this car should be... I kind of messed up going into that checkpoint there. Yeah, you see, there's one of the problems with the understeer, although it might just mean me cocking up a little bit, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I think the XJ220 is definitely underrated as a supercar. I think it's fantastic, and I think you should definitely give it a shot, especially considering it's free, and it's actually really cheap for an S1 car as well. Just 180,000 credits, I believe, buys you a Jaguar XJ220. Other cars that are around that price point, the Mercedes C63 Black's about that, I think is 210. The rough CTR2 is roughly the same price as well. I'm just trying to remember these off the top of my head, so I apologise if I get them wrong. Yeah, it's really good value for money. It's a fairly nice car to drive if you ignore the humongous amounts of understeer. And yeah, you know, like I said, I suggest you do give this car a good old thrashing, a jolly good thrashing. Yes. Anyway, we're pretty much coming to the end of our time with the XJ220. Been a really nice car to drive this. I will miss it. There's the Jalper in the background. I haven't used that. Maybe I'll use that next episode. That's a car I don't really pay much attention to. Yay, wheel spin. Okay, cool. Right, let's get this wheel spin out the way and then I'll end this video off here. 18,700. Not quite what I was looking for, but nay, whatever. We deal with it. Okay. A Yellowbird and a GTO might have just had a collision, and a Jalper is smashing into some Mercedes. A BMW is colliding into the back of me because the AI is fantastic. They're currently bullying an A-Class. The Jalper's smacked into an Audi. Okay, and while this is going well, the AI is being as... Is that the same Audi that just got smacked into by the roof? Oh god, he's going over onto that side of the road as well. Great. He's going the same way he came. You know what? Actually, I'm just gonna move it on off the road here. Alright, anyway, I want to thank you lot very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.